Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today, I want to make a disclaimer up front that I'm going to say some things that might get any feelings, I guess I'll say. Not that I'm trying to purposely do such a thing. I'm just speaking and just saying and just going on with what I understand in this lands and what I see and what I got going on. And what I want to talk about is the chaos that we put ourselves in and the danger we put ourselves in and the confusion that we put ourselves in because we're seeing something shiny over there and we thinking like, I want that. And that's what I want to talk about today. And the reality is this donkey man. Last video I made was him being around me. And anyone that would see that would say, oh, I want one. They're cool. And not knowing what I've done to be able to get this animal to basically respond and be around me the way that he is. And this is what goes on with a lot of dogs that we have in our houses. But the donkey is clear. Because a lot of people, when I explain why I have one, they're like, why do you have a donkey? Because my education, in reality, for donkeys is Winnie the Pooh. They're just slow and laid back and chill and lazy. That's what donkeys are. That's what I thought. And majority of like 9.5 out of 10 people I speak to, that's what they think donkey represents. Just slow, chill, just hang out, just relaxed. And in reality, they are the opposite of that. They're very high energy. I rarely see the dude sleeping. He's always on edge to be able to get a threat out. He's got the capability behind him to be able to kill. He kills these dogs. The only reason he doesn't mind because we work together. But let my neighbor's dog come over here and the neighbor's not gonna have a dog anymore. Let a raccoon, let a skunk, let anything come in here, he's gonna take it out. They're land protectors. And we're seeing stuff on, I'm gonna say, TV and shows and things that are misrepresenting what it is that we're actually getting ourselves into. This goes on with dogs, very much. And we wonder why my dog is acting a certain way, why my dog is doing some things. Because that's what the dog is supposed to do. You got yourself a German Shepherd right now, and you're like, man, why is my dog barking everybody away and want to bite people and do stuff? What do you think we are breeding that dog to be able to do? We think we're breeding that dog to be able to be what we see in TV shows and movies? A dog that just sits on the couch and just hangs out and just sleeps all day? No, we're breeding that dog to know how to attack. We're breeding that dog to know how to bite people, humans. Not just a dog, but human beings to know how to bite and take down and hold and effectively do some stuff to human beings. That's why we're bringing the drive up in these dogs. That's why I have a Malinois today. It's just a German Shepherd on steroids that got more drive, so much drive. And we're using the drive to be able to get the dog to do stuff that at the end of the day, when the dog does it in your neighborhood, you're like, whoa, why would my dog bite somebody? It's like, that's what we're creating the dog to do. And it's so confusing to me on how we're looking at this fakeness on the outside. And we're trying to bring that into our realm, thinking that we're going to be able to replicate and or have what it is that we see out there. You're not going to be able to replicate what you see me do with majority of my animals in reality. Because what I do is on the extreme of work. I don't just sit on the couch and just hang out. I do a lot with animals. And if you would think to yourself like, oh, I'm going to get me a donkey. He's cute. You got a nice one. Yours seems pretty calm. Let me put one in my backyard. And then you're like, I like my donkey's cool. He's really neat. He's really awesome. And then your neighbor brings their dog over and he's like, oh, my donkey's cool. Just put him in the backyard, let him run and play with each other. And then you open that back door and find a dead dog. You're like, what happened? What's going on here? Not realizing that's what the donkey's supposed to do. It's supposed to kill the dog to get the threat out, kill the coyote to get the threat out, I'm not so much of wolves or anything, but if I have 4 or 5 of them together, they'll be able to handle some business with that. And that's what it's supposed to do. Then you get shocked like, oh my goodness, why would it do that? The one over there didn't do that. You can have a misunderstanding, a misconception of what animals are, a misconception of what these animals actually are created and made and have the availability to be able to do for us. We're sitting here looking at them like they're just some sweet little cuddy bears, like they're just some little toys. They're just some little things that just, oh, I could just bring it out and play with it when I want and later put it away and it's just cute. I could just rub all on it and hold it and do whatever I want when I want. And that's not what animals represent. There are some, not even. I've seen bunnies that be chewing on people and scratching people, going crazy. It's just not what animals are. But we as humans, we have this lens today that we've seen something on the television and we're like, that's what I want. And we see the fake and we think that fake is all real. We're not realizing that it's not real. What's real is understanding what you're actually dealing with. You got a dog that likes to bark and you're like, you got a Great Pyrenees that barks. I don't want my dog to bark. I want it to stop. Not wondering, why the heck does that dog do that? We've been breeding this dog specifically to do such a thing. I got a border collie. He's trying to nip all the kids' heels and bite people and do this. And it's like, duh, the dog is supposed to do that. And then we get mad on saying, oh, mine isn't going to do that. Mine won't do that. Mine's not like that. That's theirs over there. And I want that one on the TV show. You want the fake. And it's something that just goes on a lot nowadays when I talk about looking on TV and seeing the fake. We look on TV and we see something that we think is cool, think is nice, and think is great. And again, something I said before, talking about these actors and musicians and all this stuff, we listen to their stuff, we watch the movies, we pay attention to them, and we're like, I like that person. That's a really nice person. Then you realize what they do behind closed doors, and you're like, whoa, never mind. I'm never listening to their music no more. I'm never doing this. I'm never. Something was. I didn't know that they could possibly do such a thing. But they're showing you something fake out there, not the real of what's going on behind closed doors, behind the scenes, what's going on, what's happening. You see the fake, and you liking the fake. You look the fake. Look, ooh, it's so shiny, it's so amazing, it's so great, and you're just gimme, 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 and then you finally get it, and it destroys your entire world. It destroys everything about you. You could bring in an animal that could just it could destroy your world. It could start biting everyone. You can never contain it. You're always on edge. You're always on unsure of what to do. You're always nervous. You're just scared all the time because you saw something that looks cute on TV. You're like, ooh, that Belgian Malinois on that movie. That's really cool. I want to get me one because mine's gonna be just like that. I'm gonna say sit, and it's gonna sit. I'm gonna say down, and it's gonna down. I'm gonna say heel, it's just gonna run over and get into a heel perfectly on me. It's just always gonna be like what I seen that fake out there, that fake, not the real, but the fake. Mine's gonna be like that. And especially not putting in the work to be able to get anything close near to it. And you bring that in, and then you bring that fake in. You accept that fakeness, and then you have it near you, have it close to you, and then it just absolutely destroys everything that you thought that you were going to be able to have with it. All the fun, all the greatness, all the new laws that it was going to make for you, all the new greatness it was going to be able to do for you, all the new work it was going to be able to bring to you. It takes everything from you. It strips you down to absolute nothing. Because you're paying attention to what, in reality, most of us need not to pay attention to, and have a very good understanding of what it is we're actually dealing with, what it is that we're dealing with. Because a lot of times we're getting into stuff, we're not realizing what's the what do you call that, the terms and conditions that are going on here. What's the underlying cause of why I need to worry about this? What's actually happening here? What am I actually going to get from this? What is it actually going to be like dealing with this all the time? As opposed to seeing the fakeness that's out there that it's showed to be like, oh, it's so great, it's so amazing, and it's so awesome. It's like something for me that anyone that sees any of my dogs, especially this one, I don't know what it is about this one, this Dalmatian. People out in public see this Dalmatian, they're just like, wow, that's a pretty dog, beautiful dog. I want that dog. How can I get that dog? If you get puppies, can I get a dog? And I straight up look at them straight in the face and say, no, no, no. Everyone that sees my border collie is like, oh, that's a really nice border collie. And I'm like, where you live? Oh, I got this apartment over here, and I live over there, and I work 12 to 14 hours a day, and this and this, and yours is nice. I'm pretty sure mine could. No, you're not gonna get that unless you're willing to do what it is that animal is needing. And it's something that we're not doing. We're not looking at the fine terms and conditions of what it is that we're getting into. We're just looking at that fake prettiness from a distance, and we're like, ooh, that's nice looking. And then you think that you're gonna be able to get that. And you're not gonna get that if you don't do, for one, what that person is doing. And then two, you gotta understand the needs and the desires of everything. Because that's something that is just fascinating that everyone I talk to about donkey, they're like, what would you need that for? And then when I talk about what it is, and in reality, start to show videos to people, everyone wonder. There's questions that I think a lot of us just don't understand and don't know. Why do we dock tails in dogs? Is it because it's a pretty thing? The ears, you can catch me on the ears, that they cut the ears, but in reality, there's still a positive aspect to the ears being cut. So the water and the drainage and issues with that. But the tails, why do we cut the tails off the dogs? Especially a lot of farm dogs and a lot of guard dogs. Those are the two main ones right there, the guardian dogs and farm style dogs. Why do we cut the tails off these dogs? There's a specific reason for that. And if you don't understand that specific reason why they're cutting that dog's tail off, you don't have the environment for it. You shouldn't have that dog, period. I don't care how much it looks pretty, it's shiny, it's cool, it's neat, it's this, it's that. You shouldn't have it. It shouldn't be anywhere near you, because you're going to end up, for one, right away getting yourself into a sticky situation because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You're seeing something fake out there. You're seeing the shininess, and you're wanting to bring that in, not realizing what it is that you're actually going to be dealing with. What is it you're actually going to have? And that's what keeps going on around here. That's why it's a fascinating thing to me that we got these so-called dog trainers that are just like, oh, we're the best, we're the best, we're the best. Because they have like all the awards and all the sports and stuff. And one thing that I would say is, you ever notice how all the dogs, I could almost put in almost all, it's not all, but almost all of the dogs that are in all these sports are like the same dog. They're like shepherds and a little bit of Doberman pinchers, real little bit. But Malinois, there's not even many Dutch shepherds, which makes me question, like, I don't know, but it's mainly like the Mals and the shepherds that are doing these performances and stuff. What about the rest of the dogs? Because there's techniques and ways that you can work with that dog that I'm going to slap a guarantee on that's not going to work with this dog, especially not this dog. You're not going to be able to get the same results. But yet we're out here seeing something shiny and something cool, like, ooh, look at that. That's neat. That's cool. That's not, that person knows what they're doing. But yet they're doing it with all the same animal. That's why for me, at the end of the day, I'd really like to see someone do something a little off the wall, a little different, change it up some. Get yourself something out there doing some work that is not intended to already want to do. Like, for instance, try to create, I don't know, what amount of dogs do. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. I don't know who's my parent is. He likes rabbits. He'll actually chase those. His prey drive kicks in. His prey drive is still there for rabbits, but not any other animal. Every animal is just no-go. But me to try to get him to herd some chickens around or something. Trying to get him to move my cows around. Get the dog to do something that is not intended to do. Because in reality, what is the German Shepherd? What is the Malinois intended to do? The protection, the bite, to do that. And then when you bring that dog inside of your home and it kills your cat, you're like, oh my goodness, what? The dog's supposed to do that. It's supposed to see prey and go get it. It's supposed to do that. That's what the dogs were created to do. And then we just get confused when it does what it's supposed to do. We get confused when the dog wants to bite someone because the person is sitting there shoving and sticking their fingers all in the dog's mouth. We're confused. Why is the dog biting? Oh my goodness, why did the dog bite? Because that's what the dog is supposed to do. It's a dog. But it's like we're getting confused because it's just so much, so much that I'm just seeing today that it's just like mind-blowing. Like, it's fascinating to me. It's like, and I live in a more of a retirement area. I think our median age all around here, it's like 70. So it's like 70, 71, 72. I live in an older community. And it's fascinating to see the posts that everybody puts about these dogs. Oh, if you wouldn't be able to walk with your bare feet on the ground, it's too hot for your dog. Since when had dogs have feet? They have paws. They don't have feet. They don't have skin like us. They have paws. It's a completely different species here. But we're trying to treat them to be the same way. Oh, it's hot out. Make sure all the dogs are inside and in the air conditioning. When is that? They're dogs. They can be outside. They're going to be totally fine. They're going to be able to survive. They're going to be able to make it. Now, granted, don't just stick the dog in the middle of the field like this and the sun just beating down it all day and give it no water, no nothing. Like, yeah, we never used to do it like that. But they're dogs, and we're trying to treat them and act with them and be with them like they're not. And then when they do dog stuff, oh, we got to put the dog down. Something wrong with the dog. Now I got to do this to the dog. Now I got to do that to the dog. As understanding what the animals are, what they actually represent. It's fascinating that we could just go out and just, this is the part for me that we can go and, like, that's straight up. We can't drive on our roads in this country unless you've done some sort of education, understanding, know-how, experience, and then take a test, and then you can get it. Something like that, which is, I can almost slightly compare where we're headed to in the future with these dogs. Is they're going to start to be just as dangerous, if not more, than a car at this point, because today we got airbag galore. Like, it's just, it's getting crazy. But at some point, I've said this before, and I'm seeing it just ramp up. More and more people are going to start getting killed by dogs because dogs are just getting, they're getting off the chain. Just they're starting to get extremely wild because we're not treating them as if they're animals. We're treating them as if they're something else. Oreo, we good. She good. Come here. Oreo. You looking at that like you was a little nervous of it. I don't want you to be nervous of it. Just get down. We're not treating them as if they're dogs, if they're going to do something crazy. Like, even right there. It's a chicken, other side of the fence. Or looking at it like, what is that? His first instinct is, I'm about to go get that. I'm about to take that out. And if he does that, that's what he's supposed to do. He's a dog. I want to be shocked like, oh my goodness, why would you go do that? No, that's what he's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to make happen. And when the dog does what the dog's supposed to do, we get in our feelings of like, no, they're not supposed to do that. It's so weird. It's so weird. But we got to take all these tests and all this stuff to be able to drive on this road. But we could just pick up an animal that can kill a kid like that. And it's just, oh, we just stick it in the house. It's going to be okay. Having no understanding of what that actual animal is all about. And it's fascinating that depending on what kind of vehicle you want to drive a smaller one, you got to get a different license to even drive a motorcycle, a different license to drive a bigger truck, a different license to drive a bigger truck, a different license to drive different types of materials inside of your trucks. You have to have different classifications to be able to have each of these different vehicles. As much as someone says, oh, it's a freedom, we should be able to we're not free to be able to just do whatever we want. But we put limitations on certain things because we think it's a danger, but other things it's just a free-for-all, just do what we want. But in reality, the main things that are a danger to most people, we just brush it off like it's just whatever. because we see this fakeness out there and we think like, oh, that's what's the norm is, that's what's acceptable. And then when yours isn't like that, you start to get into this, oh no, something's wrong with mine. I don't know what's going on. It's working for them, but it's not working for me. When in reality, it's not working for anyone if you're using something in the wrong sense, in the wrong way. If you're trying to make something do something that it's not supposed to do, that's where we're having the problems today. We're trying to make a dog not be a dog. We're trying to make sure that the dog has blankets and pillows and cuddle them and cover them up and make sure they have all these toys and all this stuff and can never go outside because it's too hot or it's too cold or it's raining or it's it's got that going on. The ground is dangerous. The carpet is dangerous. The stores are dangerous. It's just like, what the heck is going on here? We're not treating these dogs like dogs. And that's where we're stumbling and fumbling right now because we're thinking that we could do whatever we want to them. And that's where we're running into danger. We're running into danger. And the thing is, I just believe that we like the danger. For some reason, human beings have been just like programmed and put into a situation that danger is all that we want. Danger is all that we care for today. Chaos is all that we're looking for. Chaos is what we need, as opposed to just understanding how to be able to get out of that chaos instead of getting further and further and further into it. It's like I'm living a pretty good life and, oh, let me go ahead and get me a German Shepherd. The one that I want, because when you're living pretty good, you got a little extra money. But when you're not, you're kind of, you go shelter shopping in reality. You may just have that in you. But people that are already doing pretty good, I rarely go to neighborhoods and households where these nice acre lots, 2-acre lots, nice immaculate homes, and they just don't have like a paid purebred dog. Like that's just the norm. And what do we like to buy? The one that has like all the best stats, the parents were IPO champions, this and this, and then you get this dog. And then you bring this dog into your home. Then a dog bites your neighbor's dog or bites you or bites a kid, and you're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Not knowing like that is what the dog is supposed to do. It's like, it's not enough that you've already had enough chaos. You want to put more chaos into your life again. And it's something that is just, it's just absolutely maddening at the end of the day. A lot of people out here getting a lot of these pitties and a lot of these bully breed dogs. Like, I need a dog to be able to protect the house. That's not what the dog was created to do. Dog's not meant to protect nothing. And we're trying to ag the dogs on, trying to pressure the dogs to be able to know how to attack. And it's not in them to do that. And then when they do it, and oh no, why did he bite the kid? Why did he growl at the kid? Why did he this and why did he that? And you get all like in your feelings. Like, it's a dog. What is a dog supposed to do? Especially if you're trying to coach and teach the dog to do what it is that you're trying to tell it to do. What is it supposed to do? It's going to chew, it's going to bite, it's going to guard, it's going to do what it needs to do, is be a dog. And we get confused when dogs do what dogs are supposed to do. 30 years ago, if a kid stuck his hand inside the dog's mouth and the dog bites the kid, you'd say, you stupid kid, why'd you put your hand in the dog's mouth? But today it's like, oh, something's wrong, it's a defect in the dog. Dogs haven't changed. The dogs are still the same. They're still the same. I don't care what anyone's gonna say on that, they're still the same animal. They're still animals. This is the main thing I wanna say, they're animals. But it's like us as humans, we're not seeing them as that anymore. We're seeing them as something different because we want it to be something that it isn't. We want it to be what we see somewhere else, but it isn't. It's an animal. It's a dog. And we need to be very, very clear and very understanding of what it is that we're actually working with. And that's where, for me personally, I believe that most people are struggling with their dogs right now inside of your houses because you're not looking at it and viewing it as it's a dog. I understand that these are dogs. I'm not going to do anything more or extra or different or change because of it's a dog. It's a dog. And I treat a dog like a dog. I put a dog, give it food, it's eat it on the floor, it does what it does. It's a dog. I'm not going to sit here and try to cook all this and do this and mix this and do this and give this routine and have to bake the food for him. No, it's a dog. And I'm going to treat the dog as a dog, and the dogs just appreciate the all heck and be out of me because I treat them like what they are, not what they're not. When the dog looks at me and it doesn't want to be touched, I don't touch the dog. I'm like, still space, dude. Go away. I don't give a crap. Do what you got to do. But that's not what we do. We corner the dogs, we hound the dogs, we're smothering the dogs, we're holding the dogs, we're doing all this to these dogs because we've seen something on the outside and thinking like, oh, that's what's real, as opposed to what actually is real. And what is real is you're working with an animal. And until we just really understand that, we're not going to get anywhere with these dogs in reality. They're only going to continue to just keep on getting worse and worse and worse. And for whatever reason, people just love to keep getting these big, powerful, tough breeds. And these big, powerful, tough breeds are big, powerful, tough for a reason. Not to be locked up inside of no household, to be with your baby children and be with your other dogs. It's not what we're supposed to be doing. It's fascinating. There's a big trainer right now that's got a big, powerful dog in his home right now. And I'm just enjoying watching what's about to happen. What's about to happen with this. The same with all these other trainers. For some reason, everyone that's been getting these puppies, There's only one right now that's still semi-posting updates about it, but everyone else, like, they just disappeared. These Connie Corsos, these Mastiffs, they're just like, they came out, oh, look at the cute little puppy, and then it's just like, just darkness. And I know why, but they can't show why, because they want to show we are the best trainers, but yet all the dogs that they train are what do you call those things? Malinois and Shepherds and stuff like that to do their sports stuff. And that stuff isn't going to work for a big, strong, powerful guard breed. It's not going to work for this dog. It's not going to even work for my Cilio Border Collie here. It's not going to work. It's going to work for the Shepherds. Yeah, you're going to be able to do what you do to get them to perform. But when you got yourself a big Mastiff, you got yourself a big Connie Corso, don't think you're just going to slap an e-collar on it and just get it to move it around. I'm just going to watch to see what's about to happen. That there's going to be some exposure going on here soon with everything that's going on. We're seeing the fake because they've been doing the fake. But now they brought something real in that they can't just lie and cheat about. Now we're going to see exactly what's about to happen. Because when you got to start going to more and more adversive things to puppies, there's something sticky going on here, that the show is starting to become the reality. And that's what I'm excited about in reality in the future of seeing. Like, for a little while, I was like, I don't know. But it's just something that I would want more people to just really pay attention to. What's real and not some fake little TV show that's going on. The fake show, that's not what you're going to get at home. Straight up. It's not what you're going to get. Because in reality, most cases, what everyone's doing with their dogs and what they're showing them off to be, they're showing them off in the premium prime, the best of the best. That's the last thing that I try to do. That's why I just do random stuff, random places, random things. I just have random crap going on because I can't stage what I'm doing. I can't stage if this animal wants to come up to me right now. I can't stage if the cows want to come closer. They were looking at me for a little bit. I can't stage any of that. But that's what we're seeing, is staged everything. We're seeing TV shows, movies. We're seeing even trainers that are setting scenarios up and doing like 18 takes to be able to get the dog to look a certain way. To say, hey, if you do it like this, then you'll be able to get this. And not showing like the 99% of the times that they're just like aggravated with that dog in reality. And then they're coming off with this, oh, everything is great, everything is good, my dog is the best, my dog, it's the fakeness, man. The fakeness. But the fakeness is gonna start to be exposed here soon. With a couple of these big trainers. And there's one in specific that's got like 3-4 million people that your dog just disappeared on us, man. Dog disappeared. Where's the dog at? And then a couple other people that got certain dogs that I'm just watching you. I'm watching you struggle right now. Because the main thing is we're trying to come at these animals in a way of thinking that everyone can be worked the exact same way. And that's something that is gonna start to challenge a lot. Because what we see on TV is usually always the same dog. You know, back in the days, you used to see more Rottweilers, you used to see more Dobermans and stuff in movies, but what do we see today? We see like the same dogs over and over and over and over and over and over again. We're not seeing anything different, anything new, anything exciting, anything just strange. Movies before, we used to have lots of dogs in old movies, lots of dogs. And all of a sudden, we got this huge shift of just change. And that's why it's very interesting thing is we're entering into some newness that we don't know how to see the real from the fake. That we're trying to watch something and thinking like that's going to be mine, and not realizing that they're putting on a show of fakeness out there, and they're trying to sell that to you to tell you that that's the way to go and this is what you want. And it's fascinating to me to be able to just realize what is real and what is fake, because most of the stuff that unfortunately I see on these screens and all this stuff, it's not real. It's not real. And it's putting you into more and more chaos when you keep thinking that it's real. You think that's what it's supposed to be. And then when you get it, you get into it. You vote for it even. And then you think that thing is going to be good. And then you end up worse and worse and worse. You didn't really get anywhere because you didn't realize what you're watching was actually fake. But what we really need to see is what's actually going on all around. And how is this actually going to benefit my life? That's what every single one of my dogs does for me. They benefit my life in some way, except Johnny. He's just a pet dog that I got to see how work with other pet dogs. He doesn't do too much. But the reason why all mine are going to excel is because I have a need and a purpose and a design for them. I have a desire for them. This dog here, he's hanging out. He's doing what he's supposed to do right now. She's nervous of this donkey, so I'm thinking about still trying to push it away, but she's going to be all right. But I have a purpose for all these animals, and that's what makes life easy because I'm using them what they're supposed to do. And I'm not trying to remove them from what they're supposed to be doing. And that's what we're doing today is removing them from their purpose. If you don't have a purpose for the dog, you're adding chaos into your life. That's just what I see. That's Johnny's chaos in my life. He don't do nothing. He's just collecting free food every day, and he just hangs out. And if that was my only animal, I'm just putting something in my life that is just aggravating me for no reason at all. And that's something that I heard a lot of farmers when I first started looking at doing any kind of farm work. They'd always say, don't have no animal out there that you don't have a reason for. We don't have no pets out here because it's already enough to take care of it all. They need to be doing something for you. And when they're doing something for you, you're gonna really appreciate them a lot. That's why for me, at the end of the day, if you got a dog, it needs to be, you need to work it to be able to be your service dog. Who cares about a therapy dog, a service dog, a premium dog, a dog that is good to go and do everything and be everywhere, to be able to do something for you, not just a dog that is just sitting on the couch in the house. That dog is going to be, it's going to bring you chaos because it's not, you're not going to do, nothing's going to come from it. It's just going to be something there that you're just like always, it's always in the way. And that's what we're ended up with a lot of our dogs inside of our homes. Something that is just in the way. Paperweight, man. It's just in the way. It's on the floor. I can't get it out. It's this, it's sick, it's hurt, it's this. I got to take it. I got to spend this money, You keep going, you keep going, you keep going. Things just keep getting worse and worse and worse. You're like, what the heck is going on? You got something in your house that it just shouldn't be there. And it's only there because you thought that you were going to have what you saw on the TV screen of what the dog should be like. Oh, once I add the dog, my family's going to, everything is going to be complete. But now you're on edge. Now your dog's locked in a crate 24 hours a day because you're scared if it's going to bite your kid or not. And you're like, oh, this is the way it's supposed. No, you're living in absolute chaos. And for whatever reason, I know you like it. You like the chaos. You like the drama. You like the bickering. You like the fighting. You like the arguing. You like it. You like it. And that's something that I just do not like, and I stay the heck away from. And that's why, for me, at the end of the day, I realized how pretty much peaceful it is with all my animals across the board. Because I don't fight with them. I don't argue with them. I don't bicker with them. I'm not living in chaos with them. They're just there. And it's even like right now, Johnny was acting a fool. Go home. I'm not going to play games with you. We're not doing this. I'm not messing around with this right now. And he's just going to listen to that because we're not going to go in this back and forth realm. Bro, I'm just done, buddy. I said we're not doing that right now. We're not doing that right now. We're finished. It's over with. I'm not going to continue to keep going into it. But that's what we are doing as a people. We're just going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in. And just getting ourselves more and more and more frustrated. And we're going to work frustrated, getting frustrated with our spouses, frustrated with our kids, frustrated with coworkers, frustrated with the lady at the 7-Eleven, frustrated with the people on the road, frustrated with everything all around. And we're just living in this world just frustrated as all heck can be. And it's just going further and further and further. Then you see something on TV that seems like oh, it's going to be able to help me. It's going to be able to bring me you're my savior. You're going to be able to fix me. You're going to be able to help out. To realize in the end, it's actually only here to just destroy you and just to make you worse. I would just want someone to think about that concept of, for one, dogs are animals. They're not human beings. They're not the same as us. They're not even similar to us. They're different. And if it doesn't, you can't like visually be able to see that. You shouldn't even be listening to me no more. I don't know what to even say or do in a situation like that. But and also the understanding of most of these dogs that ended up in most people's houses, it's just bringing more and more chaos to you. It's not making your life better or easier. It's making your life more chaos. This dog, when I got him, it made my life much easier. This dog is a valuable, the word I want to use here is a tool to be able to help me get my stuff done. And same with a couple others, same with this one even. She's a tool to help me be able to just get more active, get more activated, to do more, to want to be more, do more hikes, do more runs, to do more. Do way more, like even have to push myself to have to coach and do more. She's forcing me to do more. And it's forcing me to be what I would say is a better person by doing more, as opposed to just doing less and less. That's just what most people, unfortunately, are doing with your dog, is less and less. That's what a dog is, an absolute mess right now, because you're not doing anything with it and you have no need for it. It's not a tool for you. It's just something that's just there. And that's not what dogs are. Thank you. Or you need a brush down. Come here. Are these stickers gonna come off? No, I might have to brush you tonight. Yep, you want to brush you. It's just interesting when I just see how my dogs are, and I watch other people with their dogs, and I just see people that are just struggling like crazy, man. I be struggling. Nothing's perfect. I got little issues here, little issues there that I'm just working on. But when it comes down to just the overall experience of it, things are simple because everything has its need. It has its purpose that it needs to get done, and that makes everything just so simple. And for me, when I try to help people with their dogs, I always day one when I started working with dogs, because day one I only had this boy, and I was working with some rescues at the school, but I just had him, and people would always see me with that dog and just say like, "Wow, what did you do? How did you get that? That dog is so in tune with you. That dog really listens to you really well." And I knew right away. I don't want to say it like this in a way of I'm special, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, but you're not going to get that. And the only times that I've seen the dogs be able to look like how he is with me is when they're doing the work that he was intended to do. They're moving their goats, they're moving their cows, they're moving their sheep. The dogs are working, and I see incredible animals. Like the bond is incredible. That's what I see when I see a lot of shepherds, a lot of Belgian Malinois. A lot of these dogs, when they're doing the bite work, they're doing the sport, they're like, they are so in tune with their owners because they're doing something of significant value, their purpose together. The dog is doing what it was genetically made to do. And that dog is going to have a bond with that human like no other, because same with all the hunting dogs, the bird hunting dogs, the boar hunting dogs, they have such a bond. I mean, these hunting dogs, they put out in thousands of acres and let them run, and those dogs always come back. How and why? There's a bond there that is just absolutely incredible, because they're using a dog for its purpose, not using a dog in a way of trying to do some tricks with it, try to put on a show for it. They're doing work with the dog. They're working with the dog, not against the dog. And when you're working against the dog, you're trying to get the border collie and put it into the neighborhood and keep it locked up behind closed doors. And you're trying to get your dog, that dog, to look like how I have my relationship with mine. Straight up, like I just wouldn't, I don't, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that because you're not working in tune with that dog. You're working against the dog's nature. And that's what we're doing today is we're seeing fake stuff over there of oh, look at the lab that's just laying and doing and hanging out, and I'm going to get that dog. That's the best case scenario that someone could get, because those dogs rarely end up in shelters because they rarely do anything of damage. But you're just like, oh, look at that cute little German Shepherd. It's so neat and everyone's hugging it, and I want that. And then you get it. And then it just starts to terrorize your life because you're not doing what it is that dog needs. That dog has a purpose, a design. And when you're working with it to do that, that's how you're going to have the most premium dog on the planet. The most premium dog. The more I let her do just running, pulling, chasing, doing what she's doing, we're going to have a premium bond together. As opposed to the next person that's incapable. Like, even if I can't run tomorrow, I'll hook a harness up, hook a cart up, and put like 300 pounds of weight in it and have her pulling it around just so that she could do that work behind her that she needs to do. And this war, we're just going to keep getting closer and closer and closer. Things are going to get better and better because I'm letting her do. But if you're like, oh, I don't run, I don't do this, I don't want that, I don't want my dogs to ever pull and ever this and just lock them up. That's why I still yet to see any videos of Dalmatians that aren't showing teeth. The dogs don't lie. They're showing teeth for a reason, because they're uncomfortable. They don't like what's going on. It's not like a cute little thing. We try to, us as humans look at, oh, that's just cute. Look at him. He's just showing teeth. He's just, no, the dogs can't lie. And when they're doing that, they're saying a huge statement. And that's the only way that I've seen that the dogs are just like amazing animals, is because they're doing what they're supposed to do. They got to make happen what they need to make happen. Because even like right now, Oreo just has it in him. You're good. This is him right here. Where you at? He sees these chickens and he's like, what's up, chickens? What's up with y'all? And this is just what he has to do. He sees them and he's like, I'm going to get y'all back to the house. He knows we're going to put you in the barn. So he's going to go. He's going to keep moving around until he puts them in the barn. And he'll stay on them, and he'll stay on them. And this right here is going to make this is why this dog will listen to me like 99.9% of the time, because he gets to do what it is that he needs to do. And he's like, they're moving, they're going. So he's like, I'll just let them be now. They're fine. They're headed back. They're doing what they got to do. Now, if they try to go the other way, you see him activate a little bit, have to get into drive to move them around. But since they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, he's like, oh, okay, well, let's just move on. And that's what's going to make him be like one of the nicest dogs that I'm ever going to have. Every single time I keep getting another one, let him do the work that he's supposed to do. It's going to be a really, really, really nice dog. But the second that I'm like, oh no, I don't want you ever doing any kind of work like that because, you know, it's too scary for me, or or I don't have it, I just like the look of the dog because it's a cool looking show, that's where you're running into a situation that you're not going to be able to build the correct bond. And that bond is going to be out of just, it's just going to be trash, is all that I'm going to say. Because the dog has something that it has to do. And if you don't give that dog what it needs to do, it's just not going to want to do anything for you.